2006, television audiences were introduced to a serial killer. But this wasn't a monster hiding in the shadows. This was the man we were about to root for, Dexter Morgan, a blood spatter analyst by day, vigilante killer by night. Against all odds, Dexter became one of the most beloved anti-heroes in TV history, a show that shocked, captivated, and redefined what audiences would accept in a protagonist. But Dexter's journey didn't end with the original series. Over the years, Showtime tried to revive the franchise with mixed results, until finally, in 2025, Dexter: Resurrection brought the character back in a way that stunned critics and fans alike. Today, we're diving into the rise, fall, and resurrection of one of television's most iconic characters. Dexter's success hinged on a radical idea, making audiences sympathize with a serial killer. Before 2006, that seemed impossible. But Dexter's code, killing only murderers and predators who slipped through the cracks, turned his murders into a form of vigilante justice. As The Atlantic put it, Dexter's moral scales placed him closer to Superman than Jack the Ripper. This tapped into something universal, our desire to see evil punished, even if it took someone terrifying to do it. Of course, none of this would have worked without Michael C. Hall. His performance made Dexter compelling and believable, winning him a Golden Globe and 5 Emmy nominations. His monotone narration became iconic, giving viewers a chilling yet intimate look into Dexter's psyche. Hall balanced the mask of normalcy with the monster beneath, making audiences both fear and empathize with him. The show also broke new ground in storytelling. The internal monologue, the Code of Harry, and the seasonal villain structure gave Dexter layers of complexity. Each season posed new moral challenges, culminating in the Trinity Killer arc of Season 4, widely regarded as the series' masterpiece. Dexter also arrived at exactly the right moment. The mid-2000s were the golden age of television. Audiences craved darker, more complex characters. Showtime needed a flagship show to rival HBO, and Dexter delivered. Its sun-drenched Miami backdrop contrasted beautifully with the show's darkness, making it visually unforgettable. A strong supporting cast, including Jennifer Carpenter as Deborah and David Zayas as Batista, plus unforgettable guest stars like John Lithgow, helped cement its legacy. Dexter wasn't just entertainment, it was psychological exploration. Themes of justice, family, trauma, and the infamous Dark Passenger made it resonate on a deeper level. It broke Showtime's viewership records, earned multiple awards, and became a cultural touchstone. But as much as Dexter soared in its early seasons, the story of the franchise didn't end there. Showtime brought Dexter back, twice, with very different results. In 2021, Showtime released Dexter: New Blood. It drew interest, but left fans divided, especially with its controversial ending.
So, how are you feeling right now?
Well, it's been a whirlwind.
In 2024, Dexter: Original Sin tried to explore Dexter's origins, but its retcons alienated longtime fans. Neither truly captured the essence of the original series. Then came 2025, Dexter: Resurrection, and this time the franchise finally got it right.
Told me you have to go through hell to achieve resurrection. Hallelujah.
The numbers speak for themselves. Resurrection debuted with 3.1 million viewers in its first weekend, climbing to 4.4 million within a week, a massive leap over both New Blood and Original Sin. On Rotten Tomatoes, Resurrection holds a perfect 100% critic score and a 92% audience score. In fact, it's now one of the top 7 shows on IMDb to maintain a 9+ rating across multiple episodes. So why did Resurrection succeed where the others failed? First, it recaptured the DNA of the original series. Critics called it like stepping into a time machine back to the early days of Dexter. Second, the cast was stacked with star power. Uma Thurman, Peter Dinklage, Neil Patrick Harris, Kristen Ritter, and Eric Stonestreet all joined the ensemble. Third, it integrated legacy characters, Quinn, Masuka, and Batista, bringing back the connections fans missed in New Blood. Fourth, the writing was sharper, bolder, and more morally complex, with critics calling it brilliantly executed. Fifth, the premise felt fresh, a secret society of killers backed by a wealthy investor, tapping into modern eat-the-rich anxieties while staying true to the Dexter formula. And finally, Michael C. Hall returned with renewed energy, delivering one of his best performances yet. Most importantly, Resurrection addressed past failures. It didn't ignore New Blood's divisive ending or Original Sin's messy retcons. It built on them, giving Dexter proper closure while restoring his identity. For fans, Resurrection wasn't just a sequel, it was redemption, and for me personally, it felt like coming home. The original Dexter has always been one of my favourite shows. I started watching in 2008, just as season 2 was ending, after a colleague recommended it. After only 3 episodes, I was hooked, and while some seasons were stronger than others. And that finale still frustrates me. I loved all 8 seasons. But when Showtime released New Blood and Original Sin, I just couldn't get into them. They felt like weaker, watered down versions of the show I loved. So honestly, I wasn't excited when I first heard about Resurrection. In fact, I only gave it a shot because a YouTuber I follow, Heel's Babyface, recommended it to Nerdrotic. I thought, okay, if Az is saying it's worth watching, maybe it actually is. So I went in blind. And wow, I was blown away. By the end of the first episode, I was hooked again. I binged all 8 episodes, and it felt like I was back in 2008, falling in love with Dexter all over again. Now, I'll keep it real. I do have a few nitpicks. One story arc felt rushed. I wish they had slowed it down a bit, and one character still annoys me, though I'm hoping they'll grow on me. I was also skeptical about the father and son dynamic at first, but it ended up working surprisingly well, adding a new emotional layer to Dexter's story. Overall, Dexter Resurrection is a must-watch for any fan of the original. It's smart, gripping, and well written, with the same addictive quality that made the early seasons legendary. For me, it felt like closure, like the show finally remembered what made it great in the first place. If you loved Dexter back then, you owe it to yourself to watch Resurrection now.
What do you think?
So that's my journey with Dexter. From falling in love with the original series, to struggling through disappointing sequels, to finally being rewarded with a resurrection. But what about you? Did Resurrection live up to your expectations? Or were you let down again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more breakdowns of TV's greatest hits.